From WWE's platform to becoming a leading man in Hollywood, Dave Bautista's done it all. Of course, the breakout role that catapulted him as a guaranteed A-lister was his role as Drax. His iconic and improvised line, "Why is Gamora?" still makes us chuckle, but it's time to pass on the taxing makeup and character to someone else. First up, it's time to bid farewell to Dave's Drax. Dave Bautista has stated once more that he believes Drax the Destroyer will make his final appearance in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The part of Drax was Bautista's breakthrough performance, exhibiting his exceptional deadpan humorous delivery that contrasted well with his bulky stature, which he claims is now too tough to maintain as he gets older. He has played Drax a total of 6 times in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, although he is no longer playing the character. The actor says in a profile with GQ that he loves playing Drax, but does not want to be defined by him, adding that he wants to avoid the makeup procedure and concentrate on playing more tragic roles in the future. He thought back on his time spent portraying the humorous role. He truly loved Drax and is quite appreciative of him. It's over though, and that is a relief. Not everything was enjoyable. The role was challenging to play. He was exhausted from the cosmetics application. He isn't sure if he wanted Drax to be his last performance because it's a funny show and he wants to do more dramatic work. Next, his age isn't something makeup can hide. Bautista had already discussed his aging process on several occasions, as well as the excruciatingly time-consuming makeup process needed for the role. Fans at the time took notice of the actor's request to wear a shirt for his debut on the Disney World roller coaster, Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot. His decision not to undergo extensive makeup throughout the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special further cemented his thoughts on his age. He said that he was finally feeling his age. By the time Guardians 3 is released, he will be 54 years old, and it is becoming less appealing for him to remain shirtless throughout the films. He's just prepared to sort of move aside and tie it up now that the adventure has come full circle. He even made a tweet where he took a dig at his age and the fact that he anticipated his muscles losing their tone and would begin to sag at any moment. It seems natural that Bautista wants to play more dramatic roles. He is frequently referred to as the best professional wrestler turned actor, a career path that many others have tried but failed to accomplish. Despite this, he has been able to land praised parts in movies like Dune, Blade Runner 2049, Hotel Artemis, and Spectre. After a match at WrestleMania 35, he declared his retirement from professional wrestling, capping a 20-year career. Currently streaming on Netflix, Bautista may be seen in Rian Johnson's Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery. Don't go anywhere. We're going to break down Dave's rise to fame. Up next, post-WWE, he had to swallow his pride. After leaving WWE, Bautista struggled for the first couple of years. His wrestling earnings were quickly depleted. His home was repossessed. He sold everything he could, including bikes and automobiles. He claims, "I lost everything. I had to begin from scratch." That required traveling to Los Angeles to work with an acting coach and participating in a few self-inflicting direct-to-DVD films merely to get his name out there. But as a wise old buddy advised, not too many. He was warned by Stone Cold Steve Austin to expect offers for subpar scripts before he departed WWE. Although the money might be alluring, one must resist the urge to fall into that trap. Bautista insisted on being picky and selective about the films he appeared in, even though he could not afford to. He reasoned that the long-term value of not ruining his IMDb page with excessive amounts of low-budget trash outweighed whatever experience he may receive from playing those roles. But his persistence helped him climb the stairs to success. He had minor breaks, playing a role in RZA's movie The Man with the Iron Fists, and then bigger ones, playing in Riddick opposite Vin Diesel. So by the time the proper opportunity presented itself, he was prepared. To get the part of Drax the Destroyer in Marvel's odd space opera Guardians of the Galaxy, Bautista had to put up with months of repeated auditions for Disney executives at ever higher levels and constant whispers of bigger names who were also interested in the role. When he learned he had gotten the job, he was in the car en route to the gym. He now admits, "I had to pull over because I was crying so much." He immediately turned around and entered his home while still shivering to inform his wife that he had been offered the part. They were both standing there in shock. Drax, who is undoubtedly the funniest element of what is still the single funniest Marvel film, is what Bautista found to be the perfect vehicle for his still evolving acting abilities. He is a volatile killer with a heart of gold and a very literal brain. The unexpected box office and critical success of Guardians proved that Bautista had made the right decision to back himself. In Tampa, he bought a brand new home. Even on rare occasions, he went back to WWE, and he discovered that he was an in-demand actor for the first time. Suddenly, Bautista was battling James Bond in Spectre in 2015, Ryan Gosling in Blade Runner 2049 in 2017, and Kumail Nanjiani in the underappreciated buddy cop comedy Stuber from 2019. Throughout each of his films, you can see Bautista develop as an actor. As much as a 6'2", 270-pound force of nature can disappear, you can see him establishing his rhythms, honing his nuances, and blending into his characters. Acting is something Bautista is obsessed with. He muses on the fact that he is never quite certain of the parts he plays. He has his fears, but every so often he reads a script and just knows it's going to be be great. However, it's Knock at the Cabin that he loved acting in. The same emotion gripped him the first time he entered the ring and catapulted him to superstardom in the WWE. Now, that unrestrained, unadulterated joy is luring top directors to him. Regarding directing Bautista in Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan had lovely things to say. It reminded him more than anything else of his work with Haley Joel Osment on The Sixth Sense. Even though he was only 10, the set would turn respectful when Haley arrived back then. His entire body was moving toward the emotion of his role as he approached it with seriousness. Unexpectedly, Dave said the same thing. The other actors ate off his sincerity of purpose. In the best sense, it was contagious. To Bautista, Knock represents a significant turning point on his path to leading man success. He claimed that it was by far the most he has ever talked in a movie. Large pages of monologues are all there is. They were using pricey film for their photography. Additionally, since only one camera was used, editing is not an option. The performer needs it because it's their only chance. He required the ideal take. The pressure is great. Although he didn't want to sacrifice the intensity of the scene, he wanted to recall his lines of dialogue. By all accounts, Bautista did an outstanding job. It's a revelatory thing, claimed Shyamalan. He noted how ludicrous it seemed, almost out of the ordinary, that a man of Bautista's stature was capable of such work. The Glass Onion director, Rian Johnson, thinks Bautista is destined for even greater heights. He is constantly predicting that someone would give Dave a truly dramatic main role in a film, making them look like geniuses in the process. And Dave already has his eyes set on a director. Bautista is aware of the steps required to go to the next level, beginning with saying goodbye to Drax after 9 years, 6 motion pictures, and a holiday special, the role that launched his career. The opportunity to collaborate more closely with Canadian director Denis Villeneuve, who worked with Bautista on Blade Runner 2049 and both Dune movies, is what Bautista most desires. He thinks Denis can perceive in him potential that no one else has up to now. He makes the best of himself. He views him differently and recognizes the performer Dave aspires to be, and in doing so, Bautista is confident that he will eventually unlock the mystery. He told GQ that if he got the chance to be in a movie that Denis led and was #1 on the call sheet, he'd do the movie for free. Of course, his role in Glass Onion has helped him build unbreakable bridges. While filming Dune Part 2 in Budapest a few months ago, Bautista organized an early screening of Glass Onion for the cast and crew. The person who once pushed The Undertaker off a steel stage that was about to collapse was terrified. Bautista acknowledges that he is already self-conscious about his performances, and the stakes in this situation were particularly high. He was watching himself in Onion for the first time, and he was surrounded by celebrities and Oscar winners. However, the audience was in fits of laughter and clapping by the time the credits rolled, and Javier Bardem was dancing through the aisles. It seemed bizarre, according to Bautista. Even though he and Bardem had worked together to promote the original Dune and had even met while filming it, Bautista is adamant that their connection was truly born at the Glass Onion showing. It was the first time, as he recalls, that he truly welcomed him. Their talks have changed since then, which means everything to him. He insists he doesn't lead a glamorous life and isn't chasing it either. He lives a good life in Tampa, and all he wants is the respect of his colleagues. Accolades aside, he wants to know he did his best and that it worked out for him. With a drive like Bautista's, we're almost certain he's going to get the break and respect he seeks. That's a wrap, folks. Are you eager to watch the last installment of The Guardians? Comment below, and like and subscribe to our channel for more trending news.